So we've all heard of the term gold digger, right? And it basically means a female who is only interested in you because of the money you make, like this one right here. That's what this is. Gold diggers are not interested in dudes whose net worth isn't around or at least 7 figures. Okay? They're not interested in short-term relationships with wealthy men. Now, this woman is interested in short-term relationships with wealthy men. She's not really a gold digger, she's a sugar baby. They're looking for short-term relationships with multiple men. But these girls are looking to a rich guy to cash them out and provide them with a good life. Now, I lived in Vegas for almost 8 years, and I've been around, I've seen, and I've hung out with every level of gold digger there is out there, guys. I've also had extensive conversations with men who have experience with a lot of these girls. Guys, I'm talking nightclub owners, bouncers, business owners, the top level Vegas DJ I actually became pretty good friends with. I've hung out with strip club owners, high-level drug dealers. I mean, I've talked to a lot of these dudes. And gold digging females is almost always a topic of discussion when we're sitting around shooting the shit. Anyway, and a lot of us in here need to listen to this. One thing that became very clear to me is that depending upon their goals, not all of these women have the same motivations. So before I continue this, let me break a few of them down for you guys, based on what I've seen, heard, and experienced, so you guys can understand the differences in their characteristics in relation to their motivations. Pay attention. Gold diggers are primarily looking to lock down a rich guy long-term by getting him to either marry her or get her pregnant. Now, there are other kinds of gold diggers out there, but most of them don't want to be fucking 10 rich dudes. They want to trap just one once, right? Once they found a target, that's it, right? They find a target they think they can latch onto. They concentrate their efforts on him and him alone. Okay. But I'm not going to focus on gold diggers or rich guys right now, okay? I know you guys probably thought I was, but I'm not. We're going to talk about the kinds of women that most men encounter that they categorize as gold diggers. Yes, these women definitely use men for money, but they are one level below gold diggers. These women are what I call silver miners. It's just a term that I made up. Gold diggers, silver miners. Okay? Yes, I just made that up. But the big difference between silver miners and gold diggers is that silver miners use men as ATMs to fund their lifestyles. Okay? These are females who keep a few men in rotation who pay her bills, her rent, her utilities, car payments, give her gifts, take her on vacations and such. This girl messes with millionaires. She's talking about getting, pardon me, she's talking about getting $6,000 direct deposits. Right? Gold diggers have one man paying for everything. They go from man to man. They have one man paying for everything. Silver miners have multiple guys. If you're hot enough, you can get one guy to pay all your bills. Most girls aren't 8s, 9s, or 10s. Now, you might think these chicks are the same as gold diggers, but they are not. Again, remember, gold diggers are mostly looking for long-term commitment from wealthy men. They're not looking for anything short-term. They're not looking for a temporary arrangement. Gold diggers are looking for something permanent with a man whose verifiable net worth is at least 7 figures. Silver miners are not the same as sugar babies either. Sugar babies are temporary gold diggers, like the woman on your screen beside me, who aren't looking to settle down with one rich guy, at least not yet. They've usually got 2 or 3 rich guys on rotation they use to fund their lifestyles. But their end game eventually is to consolidate on one of them at some point. So in the meantime, they juggle a few wealthy men for a few years until they decide which one that they're going to get into a long-term relationship with. Again, 7-figure net worth or more. Silver miners, which is what men like us will run into most of the time because very few of us are millionaires, are females looking for multiple men to finance their lives but aren't looking for marriage or anything permanent yet. Now, some of you might think, okay, Donovan, you just said that about sugar babies, and that's understandable. But there are 2 major differences between men that sugar babies target and men that silver miners target. The first difference is your net worth. Your net worth doesn't matter to silver miners. So long as she sees you make decent money, you can afford a relatively good lifestyle, and can discern that your discretionary income can take care of one part of her finances, she will latch on to you and gauge you as a potential benefactor. The second difference is that silver miners are never, ever looking to get with you long term. Okay, so you make $125,000 a year. Not good enough for a silver miner long term. Short term, definitely. But long term is out as far as she's concerned. And herein lies the flaw with their strategy. Listen closely. Most silver miners think they can be gold diggers or sugar babies. And a very small percentage of them might be able to if they get lucky and things break right for them in a few ways. And even then, it's still an uphill battle. But the fact that they think they can consolidate on one man worth 7 figures or more means that they can never entertain thoughts of a long-term relationship with a man who isn't. Where this is detrimental to any given man that finance is part of their lifestyles is that he stays on that treadmill thinking that if he keeps paying her car note or whatever bill he's agreed to pay every month, that eventually she'll want to be with him long-term because he makes great money and she's sleeping with him. But unfortunately, he doesn't realize that he doesn't make enough money to meet her expectations in terms of what she feels she deserves lifestyle-wise long-term. Gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, silver miners are never just dating one dude because he's not going to make enough money to pay all her bills. Again, he makes good money, but he's not rich enough to completely finance her lifestyle. So she usually rounds up 4 or 5 different men, and each one of them takes care of a bill. She'll have one guy pay her electric bill. She'll have one guy pay her cell phone bill, which usually means she gets a new phone out of the deal. One guy takes care of her rent. One guy takes care of car payment. And one guy gives her maybe a small weekly allowance, right? I've heard strippers who have, allowances between $300 and $700 per week. Depends on the girl and their finances, right? Only hot girls can, only the hottest of girls can consolidate on one man to pay all her bills. Girls who are not so lucky, they got to use many guys. Now, like I was just saying, these particular women, they're not the 9s and 10s of the world, okay? 9s and 10s usually aren't silver miners because their looks allow them to be top-level gold diggers. They have the kind of beauty that rich men want to take exclusive possession of. They're beautiful in the face, perfect body, great legs, great ass, big perky tits, and a lot of the time, they're fake. That's a 10. That's a 10. And by the way, we're not going to get, and guys, we're not going to get into what constitutes a 10 or not, okay? We all have differences in tastes and preferences, so there's no need to flood the comments with, well, she's not a 10, because beauty is highly subjective from man to man. But by the same token, we all know that there are females who that close to 100% of men would fuck if they had the chance. So we're going to use that as our barometer. There's no need to get sidetracked, on a debate regarding something as subjective as beauty preferences. Anyway, if a girl's a 9 or a 10, she knows she doesn't have to fuck as many men because she can get more for her looks. Dude, one girl I knew was a high-end escort, actually said to me at this party, she says, why fuck 4 guys for one lifestyle when you can just fuck 1 for 1? And it made all the sense in the world. No, silver miners are high 7s and 8s, sometimes even 6s. A high 7 is defined as maybe an above average looking girl in the face with an unbelievable body. She's not ugly, but she's not naturally beautiful like a 9 or a 10, but she's got a great ass, great tits, great leg, flat stomach, long hair, etc., etc. A high 7 can score a higher value man than a regular 7 because of her body, which is under her control. But you'll find that the vast majority of silver miners aren't 9s and 10s. They generally fall between hard, high 6s and maybe low 8s. There are exceptions to the rule in both cases, but those cases are rare. Now, most of us in here probably aren't millionaires, myself included. Okay? Those guys have to worry about, millionaires have to worry about top-level gold diggers. We don't, at least not yet. But even if you're broke right now or don't make a lot of money right now, eventually you will start making money if you are living the kind of lifestyle and working on money muscles game. And trust me when I tell you that women will definitely start to take notice, including silver miners. Devin, if you're watching, come and grab Walter. Come and grab Walter. Please, he's meowing at me. All right, hang on, buddy. A lot of guys out here are dating good-looking women, but they don't realize they're dating a silver miner. So now I'm going to give you guys, this is next level. I'm going to give you guys 8 signs you are dealing with a silver miner. Okay? A female who is using you as an ATM machine until you are unable to finance parts of her lifestyle. Of course, you guys can hear Walter. Hang on. All right, little buddy. You want out? Come on. Out you go. Oh, okay. All right. Had to let the cat out. Sign number 1. She is overly curious about what you do for a living up front. Now, gold diggers and sugar babies, they're curious as well. That's obvious. So if you tell a gold digger or sugar baby that you're in IT making $50,000 a year, she's out. Gold diggers need net worth in the high 6 to low 7 figures. The silver miner, however, she does not eject because she's looking for 6 of you. Now, if she finds out that you're a forklift operator, she's gone, right? If she finds out you've got kids, she's gone because she knows that men with kids don't have as much discretionary income, and that's what she's after. She does, honestly, silver miners don't. She doesn't care if she doesn't care if you have a girlfriend. She doesn't even care if you're married. She cares if you have kids. Girlfriends can be expensive, and so can wives, but kids are always expensive. And unless you're a millionaire, you can't afford her long term, and the silver miner is out. Number 2, she never brings her purse or money. Not only does she not pay because she can't afford to, we're going to get into more of that later. She doesn't pay because she wants to make sure you can foot the bill all the time, every time. If you ever ask her to go Dutch or ask her to pay, even one time, a silver miner, she won't necessarily give up on you because she's trying not to show her hand quite yet. But if you make her pay half on the regular, eventually she will ghost you. A gold digger would just bounce the very first time you even suggest, suggest her leaving a tip. Number 3, the third sign you're dealing with a silver miner. She calls other females gold diggers. This is the same as sluts calling each other sluts. Takes one to know one, right? Even though top-level gold diggers are different from silver miners, their underlying objectives are the same, which is using a man for money. A good friend of mine in Vegas, owns a cleaning business, at least as far as I know. I haven't talked to him in a while. He owns a cleaning business down in Spring Valley. He dated a girl who used to call women gold diggers all the time, then would turn around and ask him for money, and his dumb ass gave it to her. Classic projection play in that it takes one to know one. Number 4. She doesn't have any long-term goals. She doesn't talk about any long-term goals. Any female who is entertaining thoughts of a long-term relationship, whether it be with you or anybody else, will always talk about her long-term goals, guys. Okay? She might talk about wanting to start a family down the line. She might talk about where she sees herself in a few years, or anything else related to the future with or without you. Silver miners are short-term oriented. Okay? They're only thinking about tomorrow and maybe the day after that, but not much longer after that. Yes, she wants to make sure you're paying her bills for so long as she can get you. But she's not going to tell you, yeah, my future plans are for you to pay my rent for at least the next year. They're not going to do it like that. Number 5, pay attention. She never says thank you for anything. Now, you're never looking for a thank you for doing anything, but if you're a female who never says it out loud, this means that she feels entitled to what you've done for her without feeling obliged to return the favor in the way of verbal appreciation and good behavior. Okay? Me personally, I couldn't give less of a shit about thank yous. I don't need them. Devin's always telling me, thank you for taking me out tonight, or thank you for giving me the night off in the kitchen. And 9 times out of 10, I'll just say, well, listen, you can thank me later. And I'll give her a smirk. Or I'll say, thank me by wearing those stripper heels tonight. Or something to that effect. That's the gospel truth. I say that to my shit word for word. And she always giggles. The point is, guys, is that actions speak louder than words. Any girl can say, oh, thank you. But if she doesn't give you a blowjob or she doesn't give up the butt, then she doesn't really appreciate it. It's just lip service. It's like a dude who tells a female, you're so beautiful, but he never tries to bang her. I'll use a... You'll have your answer. Again, she giggles and grimaces. I can tell Devin whatever I want, but she knows what the answer is regardless of what I say. Okay? If a female you're dating rarely thanks you with her mouth, which doesn't require any effort whatsoever, it means she not only doesn't appreciate you, she expects this from you for nothing in return. Guys, I'm here to tell you, every relationship, from marriage to dating to fuck buddy arrangement, is transactional. It is give and take. I give you attention, you give me butt. I give you girlfriend status, you give the butt only to me. I give you long-term security, you give me the butt, maybe a few kids, a clean house, and dinner every night. That's not what I'm looking for, but this is in general, right? There's a cost on both ends, and silver miners always make sure their costs are comparatively lower than yours. Understand this, it is a business to them. They need to end up in the black every time. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about money, time, emotion. Silver miners don't all say... Silver miners, they don't all not say thank you. But a lot of them do. So watch out for the girl who never verbalizes her appreciation. Number 6. The 6th sign you are dealing with a silver miner. She lets you fuck her without a condom. Now, it's not for the reason you think, okay? Because remember, silver miners aren't looking for anything long-term. They're not looking for a relationship, and they're damn sure not looking to get pregnant, because kids will effectively end her lifestyle and lower her value on the market. Trust me when I tell you, these bitches stay on birth control. The pill, the shot, tubes, tied, whatever it takes to avoid having kids. The real reason she lets you raw dog her is because she wants to get you hooked. Look, guys, we all know that unprotected sex feels the best, especially to men. Silver miners know and understand this, and they use this as bait to hook you in and draw you in. They know that more girls require the dudes they're fucking to use condoms than the ones that don't. So she knows that letting you hit it raw puts her above all those other females, which puts her in a position to cash out with you. I'll let you guys know right now. When I was down in Vegas, I had quite a few main chicks, and what they all had in common is that I didn't have to use condoms with any of them. Of course, I made sure they were on birth control and was keeping up with it. And, you know, I never had a close call that I knew of, but who knows? But the girls that I wrapped up with, they didn't get as much time, which was the vast majority of them, right? But the girls I didn't have to use condoms with always got much more of my time and attention, because unprotected sex is better than fucking with a condom. We all know it. Again, gentlemen, silver miners are keenly aware of this distinction, so they make sure you know up front that she's a girl you can raw dog, but it's a strategy. And a really good friend of mine, had his girlfriend do this to him, and I'll tell you a quick story about how she used this to her advantage. Pardon me. When they first started dating, they didn't use protection, right? But after about a month or so, all of a sudden she told him he had to start using condoms because she didn't want to get pregnant, even though she was on the pill. Yes, pregnancy is possible on the pill, but it's over 99% effective. I knew it was bullshit. Anyway, he thought she was fucking around on him, which is entirely possible and might have been the case. But he told me that one night she called him from a different number because her phone had been cut off. She was something like $300 past due or some crazy number like that. Anyway, he paid her bill. She thanked him and said she would pay him back. And he says, don't worry about it. It's fine. He said that she told him, and I quote, don't worry about condoms for a while. Obviously, he put 2 and 2 together and knew that she let him fuck her without a condom because he paid her phone bill. Quid pro quo. So from then on, he paid her phone bill so that he could keep having unprotected sex with his own girlfriend. This is how these females operate, guys. They give you the good shit early to get you hooked, then they take it away so they can price gouge you for it later and keep you paying. It's just like drug dealers. Unprotected sex is a silver miner's weapon of choice. Trust me, guys. They'll also do it with rent, the electric bill, car payment, any other bill they have. And they work it the same way it worked with my buddy out in Vegas. They'll talk about how they can't afford this bill or that, and if you swoop in and pay it for them, all of a sudden, they're not worried about their birth control failing. Funny how that works, right? Number 7. Number 7. This one is really going to blow your socks off. The 7th sign you are dealing with a silver miner. She has fake tits, but she is young and unmarried. Listen very closely. A young girl with fake tits and is married most likely married the guy who paid for her tits. Fine. He gets her youth and beauty and paid for a bigger set of tits for exclusive rights to her vagina in exchange. In exchange, she gets to live a great life without having to worry about money, right? Like, if they got married or they're committed or whatever the case, and he got her fake, okay, fine, whatever, fine. You know, that's how it works. Call it what you want, but it's a fair trade. But a young girl who has fake tits and isn't married almost certainly didn't pay for them. And I know this to be true because multiple strippers have told me this. A couple of strippers me and my buddies used to do blow with on the weekends told us that young hot 10s never pay for boob jobs, including their own. It's always a man who pays for them. Clearly, I wasn't surprised when I heard this because rich men buy shit for females all the time. But strippers make great money. So if they really wanted fake boobs, they could just save up. So I asked one of the girls, well, you guys are making like $2,000 a night, right? Sometimes 2-3 times a week. Couldn't you have just saved up? And one of the girls said to me, yeah, but I'm bad with money. Plus, I got to pay the bouncers, the DJ, the pole dues. So even though I do go home with a bunch of cash on a good night, I've never been good at saving money. So why save up when I can just get somebody to buy them for me? So I said, okay, but boob jobs are like $5,000, right? Like, you could have that in a few nights. And she says, yeah, but if you want your tits to leak, she says, if you want your tits to leak or hurt or look funny or have huge scars, but the best boob jobs are like $15,000, $20,000. And then she said, listen to this. I don't know any stage girls who save money like that, especially when they know they can get pretty much anything they want, anytime they want, from any man they want. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Devin's boob job cost us a shade over $15,000, and they are fabulous. And guys, guess what? The stripper was absolutely right. Girls are terrible with money. And hot girls who take off their clothes for strangers to make money, they blow it all the time and never worry about it because they know they can get some dude to pay a bill when they're broke. Dude, strippers blow their money on cocaine, expensive liquor, drugs, expensive clothes, shoes, all that dumb shit. Dude, one chick used to party with us was on and off heroin all the time. She was either in rehab or she was on a bend or she was really bad off. But the point is, there was always someone to bail them out if they get in trouble financially, and that's why they never really save their money. Now, what's that all got to do with us? Simple. And listen very carefully, because I guarantee you this is something you don't know unless you've spent time in the Vegas nightlife scene, and that is that most men who pay for boob jobs are not rich. Let me say it again. Most men who pay for boob jobs are not rich. Yeah, they make good money. They make into the low six figures, but they're not ballers. They're not pushing Lambos. They're not living in penthouses on the strip. These guys might have some money saved up or they have really good credit, but they can't just waltz into a casino and get comped a suite and six-figure markers. No. So a silver miner gets her hooks in that guy, and he ends up either taking money from his savings or financing the surgery. Here's something else you guys probably didn't realize. Rich guys don't have to pay for boob jobs. Okay? He can get the girl who's already got the fake tits. Rich guys let the not-so-rich guys pay for boob jobs, then swoop in and steal the girls, not having paid for a damn thing. And that's where guys like us come in. The true players of the world. Now, me right now, listen, I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination, but I've got a bit of a nest egg, right? I could afford to buy my girl a quality boob job. And like I said, if you guys are living this lifestyle, it's only a matter of time before you start making good money and start socking away money for a rainy day. When that day comes and a silver miner with small tits targets you and finds out that you are capable of buying fake tits for her, and you do, she will send you that breakup text the minute she wakes up in post-op. This has happened to many, many men out there. I don't know any personally, but dude, you can do a quick Google search and you can see plenty of stories involving girls, using dudes to pay for their breast enlargement surgery and then ghosting on them. Happens all the time. I actually dated a girl who pulled this trick on a guy. She sucked her 3 weeks before meeting me. 3 weeks before meeting me. She was still wearing, dude, she was still wearing the surgical bra that they give her. So if your girl starts talking about a boob job and how she wishes she could afford them, you know it's only a matter of time before she asks you to pay for them. And if you do, you can kiss her goodbye. Number 8. Number 8. The 8th and final sign. You are dealing with a silver miner. Her lifestyle does not match her income. Let's go back to the girl that I just told you about. The girl that tricked a guy into paying for her fake tits. I've told you guys about her before. Her name is Chrissy. Hot girl, hot Mexican girl, smoking body, smoking ass, long, thick, shiny black hair, and of course, big fake tits, not the $5,000 discount boob job. And by the way, she was 19 when she got him. She was 19 when she got him. And I've talked about him in several episodes. I've actually mentioned her quite a few times. I actually mentioned her in, God, it was like one of the double-digit episodes, 13 Reasons Your Girl Will Cheat. I think I mentioned her in 3 Ironclad Ways to Keep Your Girlfriend Cheating. Pardon me. I talked about her extensively in episode 37, the downsides of dating 9s and 10s. I think I remember mentioning her in 8 ways having attractive female friends can benefit you. I don't remember what episode numbers, but I've mentioned her quite a bit over the years. Anyway, this chick was a hard 10. Hard 10. Could have any man she wants. All the rest of that. Here's the thing. When I met her, she was a waitress at Planet Hollywood, and eventually she got promoted to a hostess, but we know waitresses and hostesses don't make shit, even the super hot ones. But she lived in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment near the Strip, had a garden tub, had a balcony with a kick-ass view. She drove a brand new Mustang without a car payment, and of course, she had fake boobs. All on a waitress's or hostess's salary? Not a fucking chance. Not a fucking chance. It was obvious to me from the start that she was a girl who used men for money, because I knew that there was no way she could afford her lifestyle with the money she made. Now, she could have been a stripper if she wanted to, but why shake your ass for strangers to pay bills when you can get your bills paid without having to rely on the pole? The point is, guys, is that if you meet a hot girl who has name brand everything, a 70-inch flat screen, lives in a luxury apartment, and drives a nice car, but she tells you she works at the mall, you know her lifestyle is financed by other men, which means you're going to be the next one on her roster if you let her.